Hello and welcome to lecture series on Introduction to Electrodynamics. From the definition, the curl is a cross product del cross V. V is a vector quantity and we can express in terms of determinant x, y, z, partial over partial x, partial over partial y, and partial over partial z. Here we have Vx, Vy, and Vz. So this is again a vector quantity. And so what does curl mean? So we have to see the geometrical interpretation. So the geometrical interpretation So the curl name is well chosen. In fact, the curl, as per name, is a measure of how. So the curl del cross V is a measure of how the vector V swirls around the point in question. So if we have a vector function V, a vector, and we want to see the curl, so we have to see at a point, say x, y, z, a point, the how that vector is or it is rotating around that point or swirling it around that point or not. For example, we have this, there is some V is like this. We have a point here. So the field is like this. So if we will take the curl of this kind of field, you will find that del cross V is non-zero. And another example is, like we already did, that the point this is a function V vector. And if you take del cross V around at say this point, then you will see there is no rotating field around this point, so we have zero curl. So the example again, if you're standing on the edge of a pond and you put a small paddle wheel at some point, and if it start rotating around that point, then you placed it a point of non-zero curl. And if you put the paddle wheel on a place where it's not rotating, then you place it at a point of zero curl. So again, curl is the name is telling itself that it's going to measure the rotation around the point in question. So we have example 1.5. So VA is minus y x unit vector plus x y unit vector, and VB is x y unit vector. So we are asked to find the curl of VA and VB. So these are both vectors. So del cross VA is equal to, again, determinant method, partial over partial x, partial over partial y, partial over partial z, and the component of x is minus y, and component of y is x, and there is 0. So we have to find this determinant, and it will turn out x1 minus y minus 1 minus y unit vector, then 0. Oh, I did some mistake. Let me do it again. Okay. X, y 0, 0, minus 0, minus y. Now we have to take this and this, 0 minus 0 again, and now plus z unit vector. Then we have to take this and this. So this will come 1 minus 1, and it will become 2 z unit vector. So we have non-zero curl for this function. Now let's check for VB. Del cross VB is equal to x, y, z, partial over partial x, partial over partial y, partial over partial z, 0, x, 0. So same way, x, 0, 0, 0 minus 0, plus minus y, 0, 0. Plus z, 1 minus 0. So it turned out to be z unit vector. So the both have 0 non-zero curl. And if you take, for example, you have VC is x, y, z, z. And if you take curl of this function, you can try this on your own. So it will turn out to be 0. So this is the last function we draw here. That was this one. This is VC. So curl is pointing the direction of rotation, in which direction the V is rotating.